Hello again and welcome to Pearl Magazine. Since the pandemic, people have become more mindful of their health. Research shows China leads the e-services fitness market with a value of $6 billion. There were over 85,000 fitness centers in the country in 2022. With the start of the new year, many have health on their list of resolutions. I spoke to those in the health industry about what it takes to become healthier and stay that way in the long run.
Okay, step on the machine with your feet on the sensor. Open up, stand still. It's just gonna take 1 minute.
Fab.
Good.
Steph works out at the gym 5 times a week and sees a yoga instructor once a week at her place.
20 steps. Good, nice and slow.
Well, I find exercising super fun, but with a trainer, it's like you've got insurance to go. So having a trainer motivates me to always go. So now I see him once a week, but in the beginning, I would see him 3 times a week.
Steph is a school teacher and has been an athlete since she was young, so exercise is a part of her life.
I used to be a national swimmer back in England, so I've been training and been conscious about my health since about 8 years old. I would train around 4 hours per day because I had the time and I wasn't full-time working because I was a student.
Despite this, she says it can still be a challenge to get her workouts in.
If I don't make it in the morning, then after work, when I've dealt with kids all day and they've like taken my energy, I love them, but they're tiring sometimes. When I get home, then it can be sometimes quite challenging to get myself up to the gym. It's that tiny little area or period of time where I think, oh, I really can't be bothered. So as long as I don't sit on the sofa and turn the TV on, then I'm good.
Steph decided to get a trainer a year and a half ago when she was 33. She's had a number of injuries over the years, including surgery to both shoulders and her knee.
So that's why having Marco as a trainer, he can change my program to fit whatever injuries I have, because I have a knee injury. I always want to push myself and try really hard, but having a trainer, especially like Marco, really knows what he's doing, helps me to sort of do the correct exercises for the problems that I have.
Marco has been working as a personal trainer for 17 years. He was a professional swimmer and is also a competitive bodybuilder. He says there tend to be a lot of queries at the beginning of the year.
People over 30, they start being more concerned with their health rather than, they're still social, but health starts becoming a part of their investment. It's not expensive if you compare to what anyone eat when they go out once a week in a restaurant or few drinks out with friends. If you compare to that, it's an investment on your health.
According to McKinsey, the 2024 global wellness market is valued at $1.8 trillion, with 82% of U.S. consumers considering wellness a top priority. In China, it's even higher at 87%. According to Statista, in 2022, there were 85,149 gyms across China. This number stood at only 502,001, according to China consulting firm Dashui. The General Administration of Sport of China reports that 67.5% of people aged 7 and above engaged in fitness activities at least once a week in 2022.
When a client comes in for initial consultation, we do a health assessment where with a machine called the InBody, we measure their body composition, so we know the muscle mass, the body fat, and other parameters. I would say the big majority might be fitter, be healthier, and lose weight. This is the main goals of the majority.
He says clients will start to see changes in their body in 4 weeks and suggests beginners probably need to see him more often at the start.
Then later on, as soon as they learn how to properly progress their training, they can see me a little bit less. But what I've seen is that the more they see me, the easier it is for me to keep them accountable. and so it's easier for them to have results.
He says that what can knock a person off the fitness wagon is diet and lifestyle, so he tries to make sure his clients stay on track. Steph says that while she enjoys working out, food is her weakness, so she tries to make sure her diet is healthy during the week.
Not only do I pay for my gym membership, I also try and eat a little bit healthier sometimes. So I went on to like Nutrition Kitchen because it's easier. I don't need to think so much about what I'm eating, and then if like at the weekend when they don't give you your Nutrition Kitchen, then I can splurge a little bit, because another thing is that when I'm working out, I feel like I'm allowed to eat like a whole pizza. I'm not sure whether Marco agrees with that.
Steph gets 2 healthy meals delivered to her 5 times a week. She says taking this into account, with her gym membership, personal trainer, and yoga, as well as physiotherapy, she spends about 40% of her income on her health.
I feel like it's necessary, and my budgeting, it's more like that just goes. I just spend it because I know I have to.
A 2022 survey by Statista shows that around half of Americans are healthy eaters, but many see barriers such as cost, time, and knowledge as stopping them from adopting a healthy diet.
It's all down to the basic, I would say. You don't have to get things like super fancy or expensive, and expensive doesn't equal healthy all the time, right? So you just go to local market, fresh market, you grab your, your protein, your fish, and your tofu.
Sally Poon is a dietitian who has been practicing for over 20 years. She says she tries to work with clients based on what they like to eat, so it's a sustainable diet.
I don't encourage my clients to eat, salad leaves without any dressing, and an egg white, boiled egg white, and skinless chicken breast for the entire month in order to achieve very rapid weight loss. That is not sustainable, and likely they won't have any friends to see for the entire month. I would say everything, in moderation, and my approach is always about sustainability. I don't want my client to be in a yo-yo kind of diet. We are all living in the modern world, and social life is actually one of the key to overall well-being. Social is part of the secret to longevity. So I always encourage people to eat together. Eating should be enjoyable, and eating, is part of our life.
She says the keys to a healthy body are just 3 things: a good diet, exercise, and a healthy mind. She says she takes the time to learn about her clients' health, culture, and goals before coming up with a meal plan.
I have to fully understand their eating culture. Some have to do religion fasting, that they have to have a special meal plan, whether they are vegetarian, vegan, the other conditions, then I write them a meal plan based on their energy level, their food preferences and things. You will write a meal plan based on what they like and what they're happy to deal with. So it's like a negotiation. An Indian client come in and say, don't even try to change my milk tea because it's my Indian milk tea. I need to put like a teaspoon of sugar in, and I need to use my regular milk. I totally respect, but then we'll try to make some changes to the rest of the diet.
Sally says the mind is also key to staying on track with health, as some people have an emotional relationship with food.
Very often people ignore the mind, which is the emotional eating, the behavioral modifications. Some people, they might need to see a counselor or clinical psychologist for further therapy to deal with their stress, they're upset, they are angry, or just because of the boredom.
She says people can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week on a healthy weight loss diet. The challenge is, once a person reaches their desired weight and health level, is maintaining it.
The golden rule to success is sustainable weight loss is you need to find something that you feel comfortable with. And it's to make it part of your life is something that you need to carry on and on and on. My approach is, even they reach their target weight, I still want them to come back and have some check-in regularly, even monthly or like quarterly when they reach their target weight, because keeping the weight off is very challenging.
As the importance of fitness and aging healthily grows, so does the industry for this. People today have more options of how to adopt a better lifestyle if they choose to start their journey to better health. When we come back, the challenges of adopting zero-carbon transport in the city. Stay with us. Welcome back to Pearl Magazine. For many people, riding a bicycle is both for exercise and convenience. But as a means of transport, it can be inconvenient to keep a bicycle for daily use, as not many public places or restaurants provide access or even parking for bikes. Yet some enthusiasts still manage to use their bikes every day with the goal of living a low-carbon life.
I decided to ride a bike to work, so I practiced in the To Kwa Wan area for more than half a year. Driving and parking on steep roads.
57-year-old Aman has always advocated a simple life, trying to save energy and reduce carbon emissions in all aspects of his life. 6 years ago, he started using a bicycle to commute.
At that time, my friends were cycling around the world. I thought I could ride a bike to work in Hong Kong and echo their activities. I had long wanted to start a low-carbon life, and it turned out that a bicycle is a good tool to do this. So I often bike to meet friends and buy things near home.
But each bicycle trip must be carefully planned. Aman says he also needs to communicate clearly with other drivers on the road.
After all, Hong Kong is not a bicycle-friendly city. I try to make more preparations. Bicycles are always smaller in size, and that creates blind spots, meaning they cannot be seen by drivers of big vehicles. So I need to learn more skills and know the driver's direction. I try to make some gestures to let the vehicles behind me know which way I'm going to turn or if I need to slow down.
There are many people and cars on the road, so it's not easy to travel by bike. When Aman rides his bike on the road, drivers honk and pass him by.
Sometimes there are one or two drivers. They may want to remind me or think that there is no problem in passing me. But it is a little scary for cyclists. Most of the drivers I met are actually very polite. Those who are relatively dangerous may be professional drivers because once somebody waves, they will change lane in the blink of an eye. So you may want to pay more attention.
According to the Road Users Code, bicycles are regarded as vehicles and must comply with the regulations applicable to ordinary drivers, including complying with traffic lights and road signs. They're also required to install a bell and be equipped with white and red lights at the front and rear, respectively. Figures from the Transport Department show that from January to September 2023, more than 1,500 traffic accidents involving bicycles were recorded in Hong Kong, which was a slight decrease from more than 1,800 in the same period in 2022. 60 people were seriously injured or killed in bicycle traffic accidents in 2023. More than 20% of them were not wearing helmets.
Every year, some cyclists are injured. Where's the injury? Many times it's on the head. If you wear a suitable helmet and know how to wear it correctly, I believe some serious injuries can be avoided.
Uncle Moon once traveled around Europe by bike and now offers classes to teach people how to ride a bike on the streets. The roads in Hong Kong are narrow and there are many vehicles. He believes that if someone wants to ride a bike safely, certain equipment is indispensable.
We all regard ourselves as vehicles. We wear a rear mirror on our helmet and a reflective vest when riding at night. If there are other drivers and you turn on your headlights, I believe they can see you even from 200 meters away. To protect yourself and others, I will do this.
In his courses, he focuses on teaching students to become familiar with driving rules and techniques.
If you can't control it on a flat road, I don't think you will be able to do that on the street. That kind of control technique is often a trick for survival. So you have to practice it, so you won't go to the hospital every time. It's dangerous and meaningless.
Prudence really wanted to ride a bike, but when she tried cycling on the road, she had an accident.
I was awake at the time. My palms were scratched and my nails were torn off. My arms and knees were injured too, and I could see the flesh and blood. It was really painful, so I went to the emergency room.
Although it is not yet the right time to go back to cycling on the street, Prudence hopes she will eventually be able to safely ride a bike to work.
My life doesn't have take two. I don't think I will have a second chance. So this time, I want to learn to ride a bicycle from Uncle Moon on the premise of safety. Because I will work near Zhangquan-O and I want to ride a bicycle to work. I think it is fun. When the person and the bicycle become one, it'll be very relaxing. I can also enjoy different scenery.
Xing, who also hopes to ride a bike to work, met Aman a few years ago, and since then they have met to practice cycling together.
I would go into a bicycle park and follow some dotted lines to practice changing lanes and simulate the effect of getting on the road. Once I get the hang of it, I'll start commuting on the real road.
After constant practice, Xing has been riding a bike to work for more than a year. But he says that if he changes jobs in the future, he may have to give it up because there may not be a parking space.
I work in a hardware store, which is good because it gives me a parking place. If I work in other industries, it may not be so convenient. I have to communicate with the employer. If it is not possible to ride a bike, then I'll have to go by bus.
Aman also understands the difficulties faced by Xing. He says that now, when he goes out shopping or dining, he needs to research whether or not there is a place to park his bike.
Sometimes I ride, but for shops, they may not feel comfortable about me shopping or eating at the store while carrying a bicycle. So I will choose not to enter. If it is possible when the new district develops, I think it is better to take cyclists and their needs into consideration.
Now Aman's biggest expense is transportation. He says that since he started a low-carbon life 6 years ago, he has indeed saved a lot on food, shopping, and entertainment.
In fact, when I first implemented this lifestyle, I never considered whether it would keep me healthy or save a lot of money. The main reason was that I wanted to reduce carbon emissions and want the city to have less waste gas.
Aman and Uncle Moon are among the few who ride bicycles through the streets and alleys of the bustling city. Unless the weather is very bad, they will continue to ride, and they're confident in adhering to their belief of green travel.
I think about how to be safer on the road, so I am always learning or referring to other people's practices.
I think bicycle transportation will always be good. It feels very special and joyful to ride and use your legs to go where you want to. This requires a safer path. Taking this road as an example, cycling has been allowed for more than a year, and it has shown the need for an inclusive space. In this way, I think it'll improve the awareness of environmental protection, one's own health, and the quality of life.
That's our show for this week. Join us on Pearl Magazine, same time next week. Bye for now.